Hello friends, how are you? Are we talking about paint guns again? But this time too that work perfectly with 25-liter compressors. Caption Adriana Zanotto. Well, speaking of the pistols themselves, there are two pistols. Very similar, with some details that make them quite different. At first glance, what we can see is that the size of the mug is different. And this one comes with the blue nut, while this one comes with the annihilated one. Well, I'll start with this one, which is which is a low production pistol with an 820 ml mug. It's a gun that works around 35, 40, and with very low consumption, around 2.5 ppm. That's why I said it was a pistol. Great for those who have 25, 50-liter compressors. Both work very well. With this very low air consumption, the needle on this one is all stainless steel and a 1.2 bead, which is very suitable for paints, varnishes, even a slightly more diluted primer too. This one here is the MS-XXV, which is a pistol of the medium production category. Ditto stainless steel needle, which I always like to emphasize. It is important to be able to work with water-based paints, varnishes, and water-based inks. Well, I especially ended up acquiring this one. To work with primers, it doesn't mean that it won't perform well with paints and varnishes. No, that's not it. Because of the 1.8 nozzle and its low air consumption, ended up opting for her to work with the primer. I was with pistols of 1.2, 1.3 nozzle. And I started to feel the need for a gun with a slightly thicker nozzle for applying primer and slightly denser paints. This gun works with a pressure between 30 and 40 SI in air consumption. And the bead? And mug is already 1 liter. While this one is 820 ml, this one is already a 1 liter mug. Looking at the two guns, we notice right away that they are two guns. With a very simple, even very rustic appearance, which makes it difficult when cleaning. When working, if you are a little more careful, like I am when working, leave a damp cloth nearby. Because if something drips, if something runs, you go there. It cleans a little, don't let it dry, because it really does require a little more work. On the other hand, Estêula did a great job on some points that I consider even more essential. Initials. All the controls are very smooth. You can move them very well. And another feature of both guns are these quick release cups. You simply come here and give it a half press, then it locks. And it stays super firm. And this here is an added convenience. The rubber is not a simple rubber. It is not a common rubber. They put what they call a polyester rubber with double protection. So you can see that it is a rubber that has a kind of film. So you have a polyester seal. I will not call it rubber, but it is a polyester seal. And another film, a film on top, which prevents the paint from sticking here, so actually cleaning. This whole thing is very easy from this part. Protection here is very easy. And it's very soft, which makes the seal work. And for those who have never worked with this type of pistol, with this type of lock, it's interesting. It really is very sealed here. You can turn the gun to work with it normally, parallel to a horizontal piece, and that will not spill paint. And the inside of the needle too. They did a good job. One is this here, this little piece that is usually loose. that many pistols are released. In this one, they have already done it firmly. This way we avoid losing pistols. This right here, I almost lost this from a pistol. In this case, no. And the coating, all the internal sealing is made of a material, which they call Vuitton. And as far as I've read, I talked to some people, it's really good material. The gasket sealing material is leather. That is, it is a material that, caption Adriana, there will be no problem with solvents. The resistance to solvents will be much greater. The other thing I found is a detail, but it is very interesting. Here it is. Look, there's the fan opening control. When are you going, oh? It doesn't fly away. It's not a spring that flies away. This has a lock. So when you go to open it, you're there working, trying to regulate the fan. But this comes out and then you fly away and you have a series of problems. So in this case here, I found a little detail, very interesting. That may go unnoticed, but I noticed it and thought it was cool to show you. Well, I want to show you something else that I found. Very interesting in terms of increasing the useful life of the equipment. Let me disassemble it here. I'm going to show you not only how to increase the useful life of the equipment, but it actually reduces technical assistance. You have a product that will give you less work. Here, look. This nozzle here, look. This nozzle doesn't have any type of seal. And with that, every time you take it off to wash, when it has a seal, when you take it off to wash and come back, take it off to clean and come back, you'll have to know exactly how much torque you're going to give this here, so that it's neither loose nor under the seal. So in this case, it reduces this problem. So it's one less risk, that is less headache that you'll have with your gun. The only thing that we really have to take into consideration is that their fog index is not that low. They are not HVLP or LVLP, so their fog index is not very low. It's nothing absurd. It's nothing that compromises the quality that will compromise your work, but their fog index is, it's a normal index. For those who have more experience in painting and have worked with the old guns, which today we call common guns, know what I'm talking about. The final result of the painting surprised me. I used the MS-AXA and white pool matte paint. It is not possible to see. The paint was smooth. The finish was very good. It was smooth. And because it could not be sanded and polished, you need to have quality with the gun. The MS-RX didn't do badly on the primer either. It helped me a lot in the sanding stage. Well, whenever I'm going to buy a tool for myself, I put it as one of the important points, the issue of technical assistance, up to warranty, customer service, and that's why I have chosen to work with Estêula. Why? In addition to the 6-month warranty, they have always served me very well. When I have a question, I want to look for some information. They always answer me, they help me. Well, guys, just to conclude, although I mentioned at first which are pistols that work very well with compressors, it doesn't mean that if you have a 150, 200-liter compressor, won't be able to work with her. Oh, of course you can. So, just because it has lower air consumption, you can use it in compressors. Do not work with direct air compressor. It's also worth mentioning the size of the fan. In this case, MS-XXV has a range of approximately 29 centimeters too. A hand's breadth away from the piece, it's a really big fan. And the MS-XXV is a fan at the same 20 centimeters distance as a fan of approximately 20 centimeters. This is the maximum range of the pistol. Okay guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the pistols, and may it help you with another choice of equipment. A hug to everyone and see you next time.